Or mic testing, mic testing. Okay, perfect. Let me go to my main camera. Alright, we're live, and today is day one of learning programming for 250 days. And my goal by the end of this 250 day series will be to make a game in basically a game in general with an AI logic. And if that made any sense, I have currently zero idea whatsoever what am I gonna do. But without any further ado, let me go to my gameplay screen here. Okay, open my chats here and get Sensei here. Guys, I didn't do any research whatsoever. Today morning I woke up and I've just been doing my college stuff because I have like a lot of homework. And he says, Sensei, I'm live. I just had time to like set my Sensei and then, I mean not set my Sensei, say my Sensei, I'm gonna go live. And then like, yeah, make thumbnails and all that. That said, Vivek, listen up, chat. Welcome to the Bloodsport of Python game dev. Today we're taking our first blood on the path of AI, okay? Your player won't just move, enemies will hunt you like wolves. Grab your coffee, grab your keyboards, and let's make some chaos. Alright, disciple, we're starting simple, okay? We're gonna teach your enemy to chase your player. It's all about comparing positions and moving step by step. Think, if enemies on the left of the player, move right. Above the player, move down. Easy, right? Not if you mess it up. Here's the first broken code snippet. If you want I want you to fix it live. Red enemy must chase the blue enemy player. Okay, so let me get Sensei there. And guys, I don't know anything much. I know about the basic automation and how to make NPCs move and loop the NPCs, but I don't know anything much about how to give my enemies a brain. Okay, with that said, let me start off by importing Pygame. And since I am going to be learning C++ and other coding languages as well right now, I might download VS Code because I heard VS Code we can use any kind of programming language in it. Okay, so let me go ahead and import Pygame. How it in code, bro? I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, let me go with Pygame and then initialize Pygame by typing pygame.init. Okay, so this is going to be like a basic game display. So let me go ahead and make a game loop. Alright, for my game loop, I'll create a is underscore running boolean variable, which is going to be set to true, and then add a while loop. So while is underscore running. What I'm basically doing right now is just making a basic game window, and then I'll try implementing whatever Sensei said. Okay, and we're going to be doing a lot of questions on it too. That said, I'm going to be adding FPS. So let me go ahead and create a clock variable. I'll add a comment that says game variables. I'll create a clock variable. I'll set that equal to pygame.time.capitalize clock. This is going to be my FPS controller. Okay, and then let me change this to variables. Okay, there we go. And then I honestly might add a FPS variable as well, so that equal to 60. And then let me go ahead and add my display. Okay, for my display, I'll create a width variable and a height variable. My width variable is going to be equal to 1000 and height variable is going to be equal to 650. And then let me create a screen variable, so that equal to pygame.display.set underscore mode. My mode is going to be in a tuple, and my mode will be my width and height variable, so 1000 by 650. Okay, and maybe I'll add a caption as well. I'll go with all lowercase pygame.display.set underscore caption. My caption is going to be something like, I don't know, give enemy brain or AI enemy. Okay, AI enemy sounds pretty good. Alright, so firstly, I'm going to be creating, let's see, I might add my FPS first. I'll go with clock.tick. This is going to be my FPS variable. Maybe I'll add a comment that says FPS. Okay. Actually, let me add event loops too. So I'll create a event loop. So event loop, I'll go with while. Actually, while I'll iterate over all my Pygame events. So for every event in my pygame.event.get, this basically gets all my Pygame events, but I'm looking for a specific type of event. So I'll go with if my event.type equals to pygame.all uppercase squared. I'll set my is underscore running boolean variable to be equal to false. Okay, and then I add my FPS here, but I already added it. Okay, and after my FPS, I update my display by going with pygame.display.flip. This is going to update my display, although pygame.display.update would work exactly the same as well. Then I'll go with a pygame.quit. Honestly, I do want to use the sys module too, just for the exiting part. So I'll go ahead and import sys. Okay, and then I'll go with sys.exit. Basically, what sys.exit does is it closes Python's program. Pygame.quit just shuts Pygame. Okay, if I run the command, actually I need to fill my screen as well. Let's see, a black window appeared. Let me fill my screen too real quick. So I'll go with a screen.fill. I'll fill my screen to be a good gray color. Okay, now I've run the command. Actually, this should be in a tuple. There we go. Okay, there we go. Okay, that's a good gray color. Okay, now what Sensei said. Enemy chase logic, okay. If enemy.x-axis is less than player.x-axis, enemy's x-axis increases by 2, okay. Honestly, I don't understand what Sensei means yet. Let me go with the control C. Copy that, get Sensei here. Okay, let me go ahead and paste this, add a bunch of spaces and say Sensei. I did add a display. Should I load images or like draw images or something like that, question mark? I'm kinda confused on what to do. Okay, let's see. Damn, 2 days of programming. Honestly, that actually sounds pretty less when I like think about it, because I would eventually like I was planning to learn C++ as well. I thought I'll spend like 100 days on C++, then 100 more days on like something else that I need to learn, and maybe if I have 50 days left, I can like work on my actual logic. But that seems kind of too hard actually. Okay, Vivek, stop staring at a blank screen like it owes you money. Yes, if you want to see the enemies and players, you need something visible. There are 2 main paths: draw shapes, rectangles, circles. Simplest for testing logic, use pygame.draw.rect. Okay, so we can draw for player and enemy. No images needed yet. Fast lets you focus and chase logic without messing graphics. Okay, load images, sprites. Okay, I might have to learn about the sprites class as well. Makes it look pretty. Use pygame.image. Okay. My suggestions: start with rectangles first. Test the enemy chase movement collision. Only it works. Okay. Once it works, swap rectangles for images. Here's a tiny example snippet to support a blue player. Okay, and red enemy as rectangles. Okay, so I create a player rectangle, a enemy rectangle, and then I draw those rects. Okay, let's get Sutsei there. Alright, so technically if I have to do that, let me go ahead and add a comment that says something like object details. That was so much better. So object details. Under my object details, first I'll go with something like my player object. For my player object, I'll create a player underscore rect variable, also that equal to pygame.capitalize rect. Okay, and then I'll give my x-axis, y-axis, width, and height. My x-axis could be something like, I want my player to be in the center, so I'll go with something like 300. Y-axis could be something like 300 as well. Width is going to be 50 and height is going to be 50. So a square. And then I'll go ahead and create a comment for my enemy object. For my enemy object, I'll go with enemy underscore rect. My enemy rect is going to be equal to my pygame dot capitalize rect. Okay, maybe fix my typo. Okay, this should be capitalized rect. There we go. And then I'll give the x-axis, y-axis, width, and height. Since the x-axis is 300 here, honestly I might change this to 100 by 300, and I might change this to 500 by 300. Okay, I'll change that to 50 and 50. Okay, and I might remove the rect because this okay, this makes more sense. Alright, inside my game loop, let's see Sensei's logic real quick. Okay, so player rect, enemy rect, Okay, so if my enemy... Alright, I think I see what Sensei means. So maybe outside my for loop, I add a comment that says, let's see, AI enemy. Okay, this is gonna AI my enemy. Alright, so this is like a basic logic. If my enemy's x-axis is less than my player's x-axis. Okay, if my enemy dot rect dot x-axis is less than Okay, if my enemy dot rect, I could like use rect, right? Okay, let's see. I added a rect here. Okay, so enemies rex x-axis. Can't I like use rect? Less than. Okay, let's check the error. Unresolved attribute rect for class rect. Isn't this what I like used to do with my floor? So, oh, okay. If my enemy dot x-axis is less than my, let's see, player dot x-axis, I want to move my enemy's x-axis. So I'll go with enemy underscore or dot. Let's see, enemy dot rect dot x-axis underscore velocity. Wait, hold up. This actually doesn't make any sense. I created my okay, I think I just added my enemy's rex x-axis y-axis, so I could just go with my enemy's x-axis. Increase that by, let's say, 2 pixels per frame, and then I'll go with if my enemy dot y-axis is less than my player dot y-axis, I'll go with something like enemy dot y-axis. Okay, I'll increase that by 2. Okay, now let me go ahead and add my graphics. Okay, for my graphics, let's see, I could go with let's go with pygame.rect.draw. I'll draw my player first. The surface is going to be screened. Okay, pygame.surface.draw. Okay, pygame.draw.rect. Okay, I'm drawing a rect. That's going to be my screen. The color is going to be something like, I don't know, black. Okay, and the attributes are going to be my player's attributes. And then I'll go with pygame.draw.rect. I'll draw another rect. This rect is going to be for my enemy. Surface will be my screen. Color is going to be, I forgot the RGB color of brown. I remembered it for yesterday. I think I wrote it down somewhere. There we go. Okay, so it's 0. Actually, I might go with blue. So 145, 108, and 0. Okay, and the attributes are going to be of my enemy object. Alright. If I were to run the command, I'll see an enemy object and a player object here. Alright, let me go ahead and add movement for my player object now. And shouldn't this have been like blue? Okay, wait, actually, no, mine. Blue is going to be something like 0, 231, and 255. Okay, now if I run the command, did I add it in a tuple? Okay, this has got to be an 8. Hold up. The RGB color looks correct. 0. Oh, wait, this is 231. There we go. Okay, now if I run the command, that's a nice sky blue color. That seems kind of bright though. Okay, I'll just go with Control Z. Okay, the brown does look good. Alright, next up, let me go ahead and add movement. So under my screen.fill, I'll go with a keys variable, also that equals to pygame.key.get underscore press. This checks if any of my key gets pressed. Let me specify what to do if a certain key is pressed. I'll add a comment that says player movement. I could honestly add classes for this, but I don't want to like overcomplicate it because I want to like get the gist of it solved right in a basic way right now. Okay, I'll go with if my keys variable at index of pygame.k is right, if my right key is pressed, I'll do something. I'll go with my player variable dot x-axis. I'll increase that by 5 pixels per frame. And if my keys at index of pygame.k is left, if my left key is pressed, I will decrease my player.x-axis. Did I spell player correct? Okay, player.x-axis, I'll decrease it by 5. And then I don't want to honestly add gravity. Instead of gravity, I'll go with y-axis. So if my keys at index of pygame.k is, let's say, up. If my top key is pressed, I will decrease my self.rect. Actually, not self. My player.y-axis by 5. And this is going to be x-axis. Okay, and lastly, if my keys at index of pygame.k, if my key is down, if my bottom key is pressed, I will increase my player's y-axis by 5 pixels per frame. Alright, if I run the command, my player should be able to move. Okay. Oh. Okay, I feel like I did something wrong up here. Okay, my enemy does move, although I got out traps and everything. Okay, I think I asked Sensei. Let's see if this is what Sensei wanted. Okay, let me get Sensei here. Pasted out a bunch of space Sensei. I feel like I messed up. Question mark. Is this what you asked for? Okay, let's see. Vivek, I see what you did, and yes, it's almost there, but you screwed up a little. Pay attention. Issue, your enemy only moves down and right because you're only checking if enemy.x-axis is less than player.x-axis and if enemy.y-axis is less than player.y-axis. What if the enemy is to the top right of the player? It won't move left. What if it's above the player? It won't move up. You're not handling the opposite directions. You need else if enemy. Okay, here's the logic in words. Here's the correct logic in words. If enemy is left of player, move right. If enemy is right of player, move left. If enemy is above player, move down. If enemy is below player, move up. Okay, fix the enemy movement before we add anything fancier. You need to actually chase the player in all directions, not just diagonally down right. Okay, I see. Let me get Sensei there. Alright, let's see. So, if my enemy's x-axis is less than my player's x-axis, so that's x-axis. Okay. Let me go with else if my enemy. Okay, else if my enemy dot x-axis is greater than my player dot x-axis, I'll go with my enemy dot x-axis. My enemy's x-axis, I'll decrease it by 2. Okay, let me go with another else if here. Else if enemy's y-axis is less than player's y-axis, enemy's y-axis increases by 2. Else if enemy dot y-axis is greater than my player dot y-axis, my enemy dot y-axis is gonna decrease by 2. Okay, that sounds about right? Let's see. Oh, hold up. Is my enemy actually chasing me? Oh, there's no way actually it is chasing me. Okay, let's just wait here. Let's see if the enemy there's no way it chases me. Guys, it actually chases me. That's actually pretty insane. What if I change this to 5 pixels per frame, 5 pixels per frame, 5 pixels per frame, and 5 pixels per frame? Okay, let's see. Hold up, guys. We don't gotta be the same speed. Let me change that to 4 pixels per frame. 4 pixels, 4 pixels, and 4 pixels. Alright, let me try moving. Guys, is it impossible to like not collide? Oh, what if I just go here? Okay, the NPC is stuck here now. If I go to right, okay, there might be a small issue here, I guess. Okay, if my enemy.x-axis is less than my player.x-axis, my enemy.x-axis increases by 4. That is the y-axis that we're looking for right now. So, okay, what if I change these this to 3, that's to 3. Okay, would that like have a difference? Okay, guys, I don't want the NPC to keep chasing me. I mean, I do want the NPC to chase me. Okay, the NPC is a little stunned. I think that's like natural. Okay, wait, but in a certain position it like sometimes vibrates. Like see, it like vibrates sometimes. Alright, I guess let's ask Sensei what's happening. Let's go with the control A, control C, get Sensei here. Whoops. There we go, get Sensei here. Paste it at a bunch of space and say, Sensei, I think I understand what you mean by enemy chasing me ... Although my enemy vibrates a bit at times, question mark. Let's see, why does my enemy vibrate, guys? Vivek, I see the vibration, that little shiver of death your enemy is doing. That happens because you use else for Y movement. Here's why. Right now your code says if enemy.x-axis is less than my player.x-axis, enemy's x-axis increases by 4 pixels per frame, else if enemy.x-axis is greater than my player's x-axis, enemy.x-axis decreases by 4 pixels per frame, else if okay. Else if means only one of the 4 lines runs per frame. Oh, okay. If enemy.x-axis is slightly bigger than player's x-axis and enemy.y-axis is slightly bigger than player's y-axis, the enemy's x-axis condition runs, ignores y-axis, and next frame flips it, causing a jitter/vibration. Fix using separate if statements for x and y movement if both axes update every frame independently. I see. Okay, let me get Sensei there. Alright, so we need to have like a separate if statement for our x-axes and y-axes. If I run the command, okay, in that case the separate if statements should be like for everything. Okay, now if I run the command, did I like run the wrong thing? There we go. Oh, there we go. Okay, so it is like movement, like you gotta have like, oh guys, this NPC is making me kind of uncomfortable. I want to try dodging it. Okay, but this is actually, okay, I see what this means. Okay. Alright, what if I change this to be 3 pixels per frame and that to be 3 pixels per frame as well? Now if I run the command, I mean, I know it's going to work. I just want to try outrunning it. There we go. Okay, at least it chases me. That's the main idea. Okay. Alright, I see. Okay, let me go with... Alright, so is this called... What is this what the comment should be? Let me ask that to Sensei as well. Let's go with Control-C, get Sensei here again. Okay, let me paste it at this time. Let me ask you a question. Let me say... Sensei... I actually understand it now, ... Actually, I understand it now, ... Although, I do have a question. Okay, although I do have a question mark, actually ... So, the comments that I added there, I named it as AI enemy. What should I keep the comments name ? Let's see. Wait, comments are for humans, not Python. They don't affect the code, but they should clearly tell you or anyone else what this block does. Yeah, I didn't know what this block means. Okay, for your code, something good comment, naming it would be okay. Player movement, already good. Game loop, already good. Instead of wake, AI enemy. Enemy chasing logic. Okay, there we go. That sounds much more better. Okay, rule of thumb. Comments should explain why or what the code is doing, not how the code itself itself already tells Python how. Okay, let me say, Sensei, I feel like I understand it. Can I get a instructional based question now? ? Hey, finally Vivek, about time you stopped wasting my time starting at rectangles. Here's your instructional based question challenge. I'm not giving you code. Okay, you write it. Instruction, create a new enemy rectangle, make the enemy chase the player but only along the x-axis horizontal movement. Keep the player moving at the same. Draw the enemy, in green area. Draw the new enemy in green. Okay. Bonus, make the enemy slower than player. I want you to write the full snippet including the enemy logic and player movement. This will test if you really understood the chasing logic. Alright, let me get Sensei there. Okay, let me start off by, firstly, let me read this once again. If my enemy's x-axis is less than my player's x-axis, enemy's x-axis increases. If my enemy's x-axis is less than my player's x-axis, my enemy's x-axis decreases. I do the same for y-axis. Alright, let me go with the controller, delete this whole thing, zoom in. And let me start off by importing Pygame. Let me import Pygame. And then let me initialize. Actually, I might import sys as well. Sys is just to exit the Python of entire Python program. That said, let me initialize Pygame by typing pygame.init. Okay, after I initialize Pygame, what else would I need? I'd actually need a sip of water. really exhausted. Actually, not exhausted, dehydrated is more like it. Okay, let's see. So I initialized Pygame, and then what else would I need to do? I might have to add my game variables. So let me add a comment that says game variables. For my game variables, well, game variables, what I need? I would, for example, let's say I might need a clock variable for my FPS controller. I'd set that equal to pygame dot time dot capitalize clock. This is going to be my FPS controller. Okay, and then I might need a FPS variable. I'll set that equal to something like 60 frames per second. And then let me go ahead and add my display. This is going to be my display. For my display, I'm going to be creating a width variable and a height variable. My width variable is going to be equal to 1000, and my height variable is going to be equal to 650. Alright, and then I would need a screen variable. I'll set my screen variable to be equal to pygame.display.set underscore mode. My mode is going to be equal to my width and height variables. So my width variable, which is 1000, and height variable, which is set to 650. Okay, perfect. Honestly, I might actually add a caption as well. So let me go ahead and add a pygame.display.set underscore caption. My caption is going to be something like, let's say, AI enemy. Okay, next up, let me go ahead and create my game loop. Before my game loop, I might actually add my object details. So object details. For my object details, I'll first create a player object. So I'll go with a player. I'll set that equal to pygame.capitalize rect because I want my player to be a rect. Okay, and I'll need to give the parameters for my player, which is x-axis, y-axis, width, and height. So the x-axis could be 100, y-axis could be 300, width could be, I don't know, like 50, height could be 50 as well. My player is a square. And then I'll go ahead and create a enemy variable, also that equal to pygame.rect. Capitalize rect, and then x-axis, y-axis, width, and height. I'll keep the x-axis 500, the y-axis 100, the width something like 50, and height 50 as well. My enemy is going to be a rectangle as well, actually a square. Okay, next up, let me go ahead and create my game loop. For my game loop, I'll create a is underscore running boolean variable, also that equal to true, and then add a while loop. So while is underscore running, while my program is running or while my running is set to true, I'm going to be adding event loops. I'm going to be iterating over all my Pygame events. I'll create a comment that says event loop, and then use a for loop to iterate over all my Pygame events. So for every event in my pygame.event.get, this basically gets all my Pygame events, but I'm looking for a specific type of event. If my event.type equals to pygame.all uppercase quit, I'm gonna set my is underscore running boolean variable to be equal to false. Okay, and then outside my for loop, I'm gonna be adding a clock. I'm gonna be reassigning or adding FPS. So I'll take my clock variable, which I like set up here. I'll go with the dot tick function, and this is going to be my FPS variable, which is set to 60. Maybe I'll add a comment that says FPS, and then I'll go ahead and update my display by typing pygame.display.flip. Okay, pygame.display.flip basically updates my display, although pygame.display.update would work the exact same as pygame.display.flip. Let me go ahead and add a pygame.quit for exiting my pygame, and then lastly I'll go with a sys.exit to exit my Python. Okay, perfect. Okay, so this is a basic. This basically adds like a window on my screen. I might fill my screen as well with a color. So after my under my event loop, I'm going to be adding a screen.fill. I'll fill my screen to be a good black color, which is going to be in a tuple. Okay, and then I'll add a keys variable to check my player's key movements because I do want my player to move as well. So I'll create a keys variable, so that equal to pygame.key.get underscore press. This checks if any of my keys have been pressed. And then now under my event loop, I'm going to be adding, let's see. First, I could add my movement. So first I could go with something like player movement. Okay, for my player movement, I'll check which key is being pressed. I'll go with the if statement. If my keys variable, which I created up there, at index of pygame.k uppercase K is right, if my right key is pressed, I'm going to be setting my player.x-axis, my player's x-axis. Let's see, I will increase that by 5 pixels per frame. And if my keys at index of pygame.k is left, if my left key is pressed, I will decrease my player.y.x-axis by 5 pixels per frame. Excuse me guys, and if my keys at index of pygame.k is up, if my top key is pressed, I'm going to be, let's see, I'm going to decrease my player.y-axis by 5 pixels per frame. And lastly, if my keys at index of pygame.k is down, if my bottom key is pressed, I'm going to increase my player.y-axis by 5 pixels per frame. This is going to be plus equals. Okay, perfect. Okay, and then maybe I fix my player spelling. Okay, so this basically moves my player around the screen. Let me go ahead and add a graphics category as well to draw my player and my enemy on the screen. So I'll add a comment that says graphics. For my graphics, let's see. First, I'm going to be drawing my player. So I'll go with pygame.draw.rect. The reason I went with rect is because my player is a rect. The surface is going to be set to screen by default. The color is going to be something like, I don't remember the RGB color for red, so I'll just go with red. Wait, hold up, it's RGB, so 255.00. Okay, I guess that was pretty easy, and the attribute is going to be my player attribute. Okay, and then let me go ahead and draw my enemy. I'll go with pygame.draw.rect. My enemy is going to be a rectangle as well. The surface will be my screen. I want to draw my player on my screen. The color is going to be, let's go with blue, so 0, 255, 0. Okay, and then my attribute is going to be my enemy variables attributes. Okay, perfect. Alright, now that I drew my player, let me go ahead and run the command. There we go. This is my player. Okay, and that's my enemy. Alright, let me go ahead and change my color as well. I think gray would look much better here. So 200 by 200 by 200. Okay, this might look much better. I mean, honestly, actually, I might just go with a brown color. So 145 by 108 by 0. Okay, now if I run the command, add another tuple here. There, this, I don't know, guys. What color would like look good? Maybe 0, 0, 2, 23. Is this even considered to be a color? Okay, I think I'll take this. Okay, next up, let's see. I added my player movements. Let me go ahead and check or do something that says enemy chases player. Okay, so for my enemy chases player, I'll be adding a few if statements as well. If my enemy dot x-axis, if my enemy's x-axis is less than my player dot x-axis, okay, I'll go with my enemy dot x-axis. I'll increase that by 3 pixels per frame. And if my enemy dot x-axis is greater than my player dot x-axis, I'm gonna decrease my enemy dot x-axis by 3 pixels per frame. This is gonna be decreased, so minus equals. Okay, and then if my enemy dot x-axis, actually this time I'll go with y-axis. If my enemy dot y-axis is less than my player dot y-axis, okay, I'm gonna increase my enemy dot y-axis by my player, by 3 pixels per frame. Lastly, if my enemy dot y-axis is let's say greater than my player dot y-axis, I'm gonna be decreasing my enemy dot y-axis by 3 pixels per frame. Now if I run the command, okay, my enemy starts chasing me. Okay, that is kind of uncomfortable. I don't like it when like my enemy catches up with me. I just want it to like chase me. I don't want to actively like move around. Okay. Okay, I am faster than my enemy. Okay, we get the gist of it. It like keeps chasing me. That said, if my enemy chases me, I want to do something. Actually, I might do that later. Okay, so that's like basically it for the thing that Sensei said me to do. I do want to try this with PNGs as well. Let me copy this for now, get Sensei here, paste it, add a bunch of spaces and say Sensei. I think this is all you wanted, right? Question mark. I feel like I'm getting a gist of it, although although I do want to try it with let's see, with circles and even PNGs. Okay, Vivek, I see your code, and yes, you nailed it. The instruction. You nailed the instruction. Enemy chases the player. Green rectangle shows up slower than the player if you want to tweak speed. Okay. Now, level up time. Circles and PNGs. Easiest way to test visuals instead of rectangle, use pygame.draw.circle. Okay. Remember, rect, x-axis, and y-axis are top left. Corners, circle, Okay. Rect, x-axis and y-axis are top left corners. Circle uses center, so it adds half width divided by height. Okay, screen.plit, player image, PNG, x-axis, player y-axis. Hold up. Make sure image matches your rect. Okay, let me say. Sensei. First, let's work with circles. I didn't understand a thing, honestly. Okay, Vivek, good. Vivek, good. Starting simple. If you want, if you can see it, you can hunt it. Let's switch your rectangles to circles. Here's how it works. Pygame.draw.circle. I draw a circle. Screen your Pygame window. Color RGB. Center x-axis, y-axis. Center of the circle. Top, not top left. Okay. Radius half of your rectangle size or whatever looks good. Since your enemy player are still recs for movement and collision, okay, the center of the circle is center x equals rect.x-axis plus rect.width divided by 2. Center y equal to rect.y-axis plus rect.height divided by 2. Since your enemy slash player are still recs for movement and collision, the center of the circle is... Oh, I think I see. Replace your pygame.draw.rect lines with pygame.draw.circle. I draw a circle, the regular circle stuff. Although, why is there a plus 25 here? 25 radius is... Oh, okay, so you did answer that. Alright. 25 is radius because your rectangles are 50 by 50. Okay, now mine didn't answer it. Everything else stays the same. Movement and chase logic is unchanged. Vivek, I want you to take your current rectangle chase code and rewrite the only graphics part. Okay, let me ask a quick question. Let's copy that, add a bunch, actually paste, add a bunch of spaces and say, Sensei. So, why did we add the plus 25 question mark? I think I know actually. Vivek, pay attention. This is crucial. Your player and enemy recs are 50 by 50 in size. The x-axis and y-axis of a rec point to the top left corner, not circle, but player.pygame.draw.circle needs the center of the circle, not the corner. Half of 50 equals to 25. That's why we add plus 25. So player.x-axis plus 25 moves from top left corner to the center of the circle. Your rect, which is where the circle should be drawn. Without plus 25, the circle would just be drawn offset. Okay, would just be drawn offset. With its top left at the rect's corner looking weird and off while moving. Okay, I see. Think of it like this. Rect is a square. Circle wants a dot in the middle of that square. Oh, I see. Okay. I see. Gets you to that dot. Okay, Vivek, do you want me to rewrite your full chase code? Honestly, I think I got it. Let me get Sensei here. Can you just check if my stream's going good real quick? Am I like audible? Okay, YouTube stream's going good. Let me check on Kick as well. Guys, I gotta get my Ethernet cable like ASAP so like I can whatchamacallit, stream on Twitch as well. Okay, Kick stream's going good as well. Alright, perfect. Okay, so let me replace. Actually, let me just delete the whole code and write it again. Let me start off by importing Pygame. Okay, I import Pygame and then I import sys. Okay, next up I initialize Pygame by typing pygame.init. This initializes Pygame, and then let me go ahead and add my game variables. Game variables. For my game variables, I'll need a clock variable, so that equal to pygame.time.capitalize clock. Maybe remove the comma from there. Okay, and maybe I'll add a comment that says FPS controller. Okay, and then let me go ahead and create a FPS variable so that equal to 60. That's like basically everything I can think of right now. And then let's create display. For my display, I'll create a width variable and a height variable. My width variable is going to be set to 1000. Height variable is going to set to 650. Okay, and then let me go ahead and create a screen variable that equal to pygame.display.set_mode. My mode is going to be in a tuple of my display's width and my display's height. Okay, and then maybe I'll actually add a caption as well. So let me go with a pygame.display.set_caption. My caption is going to be something like AI enemy 1.1. Okay, let's see. And then I drink some water because I'm kind of dehydrated. Okay, perfect. Alright, next up, what would I need? I would need to add my object details. So let me go ahead and add my object details. For my object details, let me create a player object. My player object is going to be equal to pygame dot. Okay, hold up. I can't go with pygame dot circle, right? So I might not actually draw my circle like this. Instead, I'll just go with my enemy. My enemy is going to be equal to pygame dot capitalized rect. My rect is going to be, okay, let's see. Let me add the x-axis, y-axis, width and height. My x-axis could be something like 500. Y-axis could be something like 300. Width could be 50. Height could be 50. Excuse me, guys. Next up, let me go ahead and add my game loop. For my game loop, I'll go ahead and create a I'll create a is_running boolean variable. I'll set that equal to true and then add a while loop. So while is_running, while my program is running or while my is running is set to true, I'm going to be doing something. What am I going to be doing? Let's see. I'm going to be filling my screen, so I'll go with a screen.fill. I'll fill my screen to be a good gray color. It is going to be in a tuple of 200 by 200 by 200. And then let me add a keys variable. I'll set that equal to pygame.key.get_pressed. This basically checks if any of my keys get pressed. Okay, this is going to be get_pressed. Okay, next up, what else would I need? Let's see. I might need an event loop to iterate over my pygame event, so I'll go with the event loop. For my event loop, I'll use a for loop. So for every event in my pygame.event.get, this basically gets all my pygame events, but I'm looking for a specific type of event. So if my event.type equals to pygame.quit, all uppercase quit, I'll set my is_running boolean variable to be equal to false. And then outside my for loop, I'll add FPS. I'll go with my clock variable, which I've previously created, dot the tick function. This is going to be my FPS variable, which is set to 60. You know that a comment that says FPS. And then let me go ahead and update my display by typing pygame.display.update. This updates my display. Okay, and this is going to be update. Okay, and honestly, pygame.display.update and pygame.display.flip both works exactly the same. You guys can use either one. I'll go with a pygame.quit to exit my pygame, and then I'll go with a sys.exit to close my Python program. Alright, this is the basic loop if I run the command. Like, I just get a display where I can like exit the display nicely. Alright, next up, let me go ahead and add my object details, or instead of object details, my player movement. So I'll go ahead and add my player movement. Okay, for my player movement, let me go ahead and add my graphics first this time. So I'll go ahead and draw my players. So I'll add a player variable. I'll set that equals to pygame.draw.circle. I want to draw a circle. My circle, the surface will be my screen. The color is going to be something like, I don't know, blue, so RGB. 25500. Okay, then let's see. Color, and then what else do I need? So circle the center. So this is going to be my x-axis and y-axis. My x-axis is going to be, okay, this is where I asked Sensei for help because I actually don't remember how do you draw a circle. I'm used to doing it with PNGs. Okay, let me paste this, add a bunch of spaces and say Sensei. So I'm kinda stuck here. What to do, question mark? Kivik, what the hell is that? You're trying to draw a player circle and you didn't, and you left the center empty? Python can't make magic out of nothing. Let's fix it step by step. Keep a rect for the player so we can move it. Don't erase it. Player.rect. Capitalize rect 100, 300, 50, 50. Draw the circle using the rect center. Pygame.draw.circle. Surface is going to be my screen. Okay. Keep the rect. Oh, so I keep the rect. Okay. Pygame.draw.circle. Player.x-axis plus 25, player.y-axis plus 25. The radius is going to be 25. I think I see player.x-axis plus 25, player.y-axis plus 25, center of the circle. 25, radius of the circle, half of 50. Oh, I think I see. Enemy stays in the same rects, and he can also be drawn to the... Enemy stays in the same rect and can also be drawn as a circle. Okay. Oh, I see. Don't override player with enemy.draw.circle. Keep it as a rect for movement. Drawing a circle just visually represents it. Don't replace a rect. Here's the corrected core part. Okay, honestly, I won't see that. I want to see if I actually figured this out. So, under my player movement, actually, before my enemy, I'll go ahead and add a player as well. So that equals to pygame.capitalize rect. Okay. Okay, my player's rect is going to be 100 by 300. The size is going to be 50 and 50. Okay, perfect. So, in that case, I might add my player graphics now. I'll maybe go down, add a comment that says graphics. Here I'll go ahead and add my player graphics. Actually, I'll go at pygame.draw.circle. I want to draw a circle. The surface will be my screen. And the color is going to be blue. So 255 by 0 by 0. And then my x-axis and y-axis is going to be my player rect.x-axis plus 25. And then player.x-axis. Okay, did that have to be y-axis now? Was it y-axis? Okay, it was y-axis. Player.y-axis plus 25. Okay, and then let me just zoom out a little. My radius is going to be 25. Okay, let me do the same thing for my whatchamacallit, enemy as well. So pygame.draw.circle. My surface will be my screen. The color is going to be let's go with the blue. So 0 to 55 by 0. Okay, and then I need my center. So my center is going to be my enemy variable.x-axis plus 25, half its width, comma enemy.y-axis plus 25. Half my enemy's y-axis is width as well, and the radius is going to be 25. Now let me go ahead and add my player movements. For my player movements, let me go ahead and add a if statement. If my keys, let me zoom in a little. If my keys at index of pygame.key is right, if my right key is pressed, let's see what am I going to do. I'm going to increase my not self guys, I forgot, this is not my, I'm not using classes here. I'll increase my player.x-axis by 5 pixels per frame. Okay, and if my keys at index of pygame.k is left, if my left key is pressed, I'm going to be doing something as well. Let me go ahead and decrease my player dot x-axis by 5 pixels per frame. And if my keys at index of pygame.k is up, if my top key is pressed, I'm going to be fixing my typo first, and then I'll go with player dot y-axis is going to decrease by 5 pixels per frame. And lastly, if my keys at index of pygame dot k, okay, if my key is down or bottom, what's it called, down or bottom, down, okay, if my bottom key is pressed, I'm going to increase my player dot y-axis by 5 pixels per frame. Okay, now if I run the command, there's my circle and there's my player. Up. Okay, now let me go ahead and add a logic where my enemy, my circle, chases my player. Okay, so let me add a comment that says enemy chases player logic. For my enemy chases player logic, let me go ahead and do something. Let me add an if statement. So if my enemy dot x-axis, if my enemy's x-axis is less than my player dot x-axis, then I go with enemy dot x-axis. I increase that by 3 pixels per frame. Maybe add a colon here. Okay, and if my keys at index of pygame, my bad guys, and if my enemy dot x-axis is greater than my player dot x-axis, then I'm going to be doing something else. I'm going to be, let's see, going with my enemy dot x-axis. I'll decrease that by 3 pixels per frame. And if my enemy dot y-axis this time is less than my player dot y-axis, I will increase my enemy dot y-axis by 3 pixels per frame. And lastly, if my enemy dot y-axis is greater than my player dot y-axis, I am going to be decreasing my enemy dot y-axis enemy dot y-axis by 3 pixels per frame. If I run the command, there we go, my enemy is gonna chase my, he just dipped. Or this is going to be a decrease. There we go, now if I run the command, my enemy is gonna try chasing my player. Oh wow, that actually does, okay, I want my enemies to be a little slower, what? Hold up. Oh, okay, I got a better idea, Let me add another if statement here. If my keys at index of pygame dot k is q, if my q is pressed, then I'll go with my player dot x-axis. I will increase that by 10 pixels per frame. Now I'm going to the right. I hit q, buck. My player dodges. Okay. So q is just that. Okay. That just works for my left. Okay, let me go with another button. So W. So if my keys at index of pygame.k is W, if my W key is pressed, I'm going to go with my player.x-axis. I will decrease it by 10 pixels per frame. Okay, so Q, W, hold up. Okay, I go with Q, W, up. Okay, that does give me some special speed. Okay, I didn't want this thing. I wanted to have like a dash speed, so like dash, dash, dash. Okay, that said, I will remove these two. I just wanted to test something. Okay, that's honestly pretty much it. Let me go with the control A. Control C gets Sensei here. Okay, maybe remove this. Okay, let me paste it, add a bunch of spaces, and say Sensei. I think I got this, dot, dot, dot. Can we do this with NPCs now? With PNGs now? With PNGs now? Question mark. Okay, let's see, guys. I don't know if this is called AI in your NPC or something. But like, finally, you've learned the right to see your little spheres turn into sprites of destruction. Here's how we upgrade to PNG without breaking your movement logic. Load your images after pygame.net. I load my images. Okay, optional, scale them to match your rec size. Okay, and then I scale my images as well. Keep your recs, we still need them. Keep my recs. Okay, replace the draw with blitz. So screen.blitz. I want to blitz my player image that I loaded. Okay, the position is going to be my player.rect. Oh, I see. Everything else stays the same. Player movement. Okay, Vivek, next step. Take your current code, rewrite it. Okay, let me get Sensei there. Hi, Viv. How are you doing, Iman? I appreciate you joining this stream. Good luck in your coding session. Good luck for our university as well. Or, well, your programming journey in general. Okay, let's see. Let me go with the Control A, delete this whole thing. Let me start off by importing Pygame again. So let me import Pygame and initialize Pygame by typing. Actually, before I initialize Pygame, I will import the sys module as well. Now let me initialize Pygame by typing pygame.init. Okay, that basically initializes Pygame. What else would I need? Let me go ahead and add my game variables. Before my game variables, I will add my display. Okay, for my display, I'll go with a pygame.display. Actually, I might add a width and height variable. So let me go ahead and create a width variable and a height variable. My width variable is going to be equal to 1000. Height variable is going to be equal to 650. And then let me go ahead and add a screen variable. My screen variable is going to be equal to pygame.display.set_mode. My mode is going to be equal to my display's width and my display's height. Okay, then let me go ahead and create maybe a caption. So pygame.display.set_caption. My caption is going to be set to something like AI enemy 1.2. Guys, I'm real horrible with like names. Okay, then let me go ahead and add my game variable. So this is going to be my game variable section. For my game variables, I'm going to be creating a, let's say, clock variable for my FPS controller. Also, that equals to pygame.time.capitalize clock. Maybe add a comment that says FPS controller. Okay, and then let me go ahead and add a FPS variable. Also, that equals to 60 because I want 60 frames per second. Alright, and next up, let me go ahead and load my images. So what other images would I need? I might need a player image, so let me go ahead and load that. I'll go with something like hero_image, also that equal to pygame.image.load. I'll give the file path. The file path is going to be game items followed by 2 forward slashes, followed by player, 2 more forward slashes. This is going to be my hero PNG, and since this is a PNG, I will convert it to alpha. There we go. Okay, and then let me go ahead and load my enemy image. So enemy_image is going to be equal to pygame.image.load. The file path is going to be game item followed by 2 forward slashes, followed by NPCs, 2 more forward slashes. Alright, here's the question. Which enemy image should I load? Should I load my dragon, my skeleton, or like, I don't know. I honestly might go with my dragon PNG. This is going to be my dragon PNG. And since this is a PNG, I will convert it to alpha. Okay, perfect. And since it is enemy, I'll just go with dragon. Okay, next up, let me go ahead and transform and load my images. So I'll go ahead and transform and load and scale actually. I already loaded my images, guys. Okay, to transform and load my images, I'm going to define a function called scale. This is going to be my scale function. The size is going to be, it will have 2 parameters. First is going to be image. Second is going to be factor. Factor is going to be set to 0.1 by default with just 10%. Then let me go ahead and return pygame dot transform dot scale. Okay, guys, I can never spell transform correct. What? Okay, what do I want to scale? I want to scale my image. The size is going to be in a tuple. Maybe I'll go in a new line. Go with integer. Now I'm going to be getting the width of my height and multiplying it by my factor, and then I'll get the height of my image. I'll get the width of my image multiplied by the factor, and then I'll get the height of my image and multiplied by my factor as well. So I'll go with the image.get_width function. I'll get the width of my image and I'll multiply it by my factor, add a comma, and then get the height of my image. So I'll go with image.get_height function and I'll multiply it by my factor. Okay, that's pretty much it. Next up, let me go ahead and reassign my hero_image to be equal to, invoke my scale function. I want to scale my hero_image. Let me do the same with my dragon underscore image. I'll reassign it, set it equal to, invoke my scale function. I want to scale my dragon underscore image. Alright, perfect. That's pretty much it. Okay, next up, now that I loaded my images, let me go ahead and add a comment that says Rex. So for my Rex, I could like create classes, but I don't want to make the code too big because I'm just learning the basics. Okay, so for my Rex, let's see. I'm going to be creating a hero underscore Rex. I'll set that equal to pygame.rect. Okay, and the let's see, the x-axis, y-axis, width and height. Let's see. So my x-axis is going to be something like, I don't know, 100. Y-axis is going to be 300. My width is going to be 50. Height is going to be 50. Next up, let me go ahead and create a dragon underscore rect. So my dragon's rectangle is going to be equal to rect is going to be equal to pygame dot capitalize rect. Let's say the position, the x-axis is going to be 500, y-axis is going to be 300. I might go with my x-axis to be 100. Actually, I'll go with 500 by 100. Okay, 500 by 100 sounds pretty good. The width and height is going to be 50 and 50. Okay, perfect. Next up, let me go ahead and add my game loop. For my game loop, I'll create a I'll first create a is underscore running boolean variable, and then I'll create a while loop. First, I'll set this equal to true, and then add a while is underscore running while my program is running, or while my is running is set to true. I'm going to be adding, I'll be filling my screen with the colors. So I'll go with a screen.fill. Okay, let's say I want to fill my screen with a good blue color. So 0 by 231 by 255. Okay, next up, let me go ahead and add a keys variable to check my keys in my keyboard, like if any of my keys are pressed. So I'll go with the keys variable, so that equals to pygame.key.get underscore pressed. This basically checks if any of my keys is getting pressed. Okay, let me just check if I'm audible. Alright, perfect. Okay, and then let's see what else would I need. I actually might need some water first. Okay, let's see. Maybe next thing that I could add is gonna be my player movement. I don't know. Actually, before player movement, I'll add an event loop. So I'll add an event loop and then iterate over all my pygame events. So for every event in my pygame.event.get, pygame.event.get, this basically gets all my pygame events, but I look for a specific type of event. If my event.type equals to pygame.quit, I'll set my is underscore running boolean variable to be equal to false. Okay, excuse me guys. And then outside my for loop, I will add a clock variable. I'll use the .tick function. This is going to be for my FPS. I'll change this to my FPS variable. Maybe I'll add a comment that says FPS. Then let me go with a pygame.display.set. Actually, .flip. This is going to update my display. Although pygame.display.update will work exactly the same, maybe I fix my display spelling. And guys, I might on the fan real quick because it's like really hot. I'll go with a pygame.quit. This exits pygame. And lastly, I'll go with a sys.exit. This exits the Python program. Now give me a sec, guys. Let me just on my fan real quick. Yeah, it's like really hot. It's way too hard to think. Alright. Okay, with that said, let's see what else would I need. I added an event loop, so let me go ahead and add graphics too. So I might go with graphics. This is going to be my graphics section. I would need graphics. Okay, what else would I need? I might need to add my player movement, so let's do that first. I'll go with player movement. For my player movement, I'll add a bunch of if statements. M-O-V-E-M-E-N-T. There we go, guys. Okay, so if my keys at index of pygame.k is right, if my right key is pressed, I'm going to be doing something. I will increase my player.x-axis by 5 pixels per frame. And then if my keys at index of pygame.k is left, if my left key is pressed, is my variable name player? No, man, it's hero rect. So I'll go with hero underscore rect.x-axis. This is gonna be pygame. I'll go with my hero underscore rect dot x-axis. I'll decrease it by 5 pixels per frame. Okay, and then if my keys at index of pygame.k is up, if my top key is pressed, there we go. I'm gonna decrease my hero underscore rect dot y-axis by 5 pixels per frame. And if my keys at index of pygame.k is down, if my bottom key is pressed, okay, I'm gonna increase my hero underscore rect dot y-axis by my 5 pixels per frame, or by 5 pixels per frame. Okay, and then let me go ahead and add graphics. For my graphics, I'm gonna be drawing. So let's see. Honestly, first I'll go with a screen dot blitz. I want to blitz something on my screen. What do I want to blitz? Let's see. I might want to blitz my hero underscore image. Okay, at the given depth of my hero underscore rect dot x-axis and hero underscore rect dot y-axis. Okay, and then let me go ahead and add a screen dot blitz. So screen dot blitz. I want to blitz my let's see. Do I want to blitz my dragon underscore image at the given depth of my dragon underscore rect dot x-axis and dragon underscore rect dot y-axis. Okay, if I were to run the command, I see a hero and a dragon. My hero does move, although I want the dragon to chase my hero. Don't they look like too small? I mean, it's kind of good. Okay, let me go ahead and add a logic that says enemy or something like if dragon chases hero. Yeah, actually I might uppercase that as well. Dragon chases hero. Okay, for my dragon chases hero, I'll add if statement. So if my dragon underscore rect, if my dragon's rect x-axis is less than my hero underscore rect dot x-axis less than my hero's x-axis, I'm gonna go with my dragon underscore rect dot x-axis. My dragon's x-axis is gonna increase by by 3 pixels per frame. Tragon. There we go. Okay, and then if my dragon underscore rect dot x-axis is greater than my hero underscore rect dot x-axis, okay, I'm gonna be, let's say, decreasing my dragon underscore rect dot x-axis by 3 pixels per frame. And then if my dragon underscore rect dot y-axis this time is less than my hero underscore rect dot y-axis, I'll go with my dragon underscore rect dot y-axis. I will let's say increase that by 3 pixels per frame, and this is going to be underscore. Okay, and lastly, if my dragon underscore rect dot y-axis is greater than my hero underscore rect dot y-axis, I will be decreasing my dragon underscore rect dot y-axis by 3 pixels per frame. Let me change that to 3 pixels as well. Okay, if I would run the command, my dragon is going to be chasing my player. Okay. Okay, it's going to chase my player until they don't like collide. Is there like a tiny error in my code? Okay, did I go with like increase? Does he like come up with me? Okay, if I go diagonal, then he like chases up to me. Okay, let's see. So if my dragon is less, my x-axis increases. If my dragon is greater, the x-axis decreases. If my dragon's y-axis increases. Okay, honestly, that looks pretty correct actually. Okay, decrease, increase. Oh, this is going to be y-axis. There we go. Okay, had to find that tiny error. Okay, so now wherever I stop, my dragon is gonna stop at my player. Although, why does he lip stop at me? That does probably look kind of good. My dragon like ate me type stuff. Okay, let's see. Let me what the dragon. The dragon chases me. Okay. Alright. Let's go with a control A, control C. Let's say here. Let me paste it, add a bunch of spaces and say sensei. It works, but it doesn't look like the other games where actually no mind, it works, but I think I need more practice. Dot dot dot. So is this the only topic for okay, for what I forgot? Maybe I fixed my typo while I think. Okay, okay, it works, but I think I need more practice. So is this the only topic where dragon AI, actually enemy AI question mark. Okay, Vivek, you're getting there, but no, this is just the tip of the iceberg. What you've done so far is the simplest enemy AI. Direct chasing. Real AI in games can get way more interesting. Okay, here's the roadmap for enemy AI practice. Okay, what you just did. Basic. Okay, I'm glad there are like more. Basic chase. What you just did. One enemy moves directly towards player. Axis limited. Movement. Enemy moves only horizontally or vertically. Okay, multiple enemies spawn several enemies with the same or different speeds. Fleeing AI, enemy moves away if the player is too strong or has high HP. Okay. Patrolling AI, enemy moves along a fixed path until the player is near obstacles, avoiding enemy, navigate around walls or traps, attack slash stop distance, enemy stop chasing when close enough, so maybe attack, randomized AI behavior, enemy sometimes pause, sometimes chase, sometimes retreat. Okay. State machine, behavior tree, combine multiple behaviors for smarter AI. Each one is simple, progressive steps. You can practice using Rex circles or PNGs. Vivek, I can start by giving you a multiple enemy chasing player. Okay, exercise next. Multiple enemy chasing player. Okay, let me say, Sensei, I want to work with PNGs honestly. Although, I've heard people talk about the sprite class. What's it about question mark? I know how to use PNGs, but I don't know anything about the sprite class. Okay, give me a sec, guys. Let me just message my sister and say her to talk slowly. I can like literally listen her talk and call. Okay, with that said, let's see. Wait, listen closely. Sprites are the ultimate power-up for your game objects. Forget drawing rectangles or manually blending PNGs everywhere. Organize everything for you. Oh, here's the gist. Sprite class in Pygame is a blueprint for any moving object, player, enemy, projectile, etc. It lets you combine image, position, and behavior into a single object. You can group sprites, pygame.sprite.group. This is huge for multiple enemy collisions and updates. Key benefits automatically handle drawing and updates if you call group.draw and group.update. Oh, makes collision detection easy with pygame.sprite collide. Lets you add custom behavior by adding an update method inside your sprite class. Example in words: define a class enemy player.sprite.sprite. Okay, player.lowercase sprite. Excuse me, guys. Dot capitalize sprite. In dungeon init self.self.image. Set self.image your PNG. Da, da, da. Okay, add an update method. Okay, this is where chase logic goes, add all enemies to a pygame.sprite.group. Okay, let me just say something. Sensei, I think I'll leave this topic for my next stream. This stream, let's work with the enemy AI logic. Okay, let's see. Finally, some good focus. Okay, finally, some focus. Let's dive into enemy aim logic. That's where your dragon starts actually thinking before they chase. We've been doing dumb chasing. Enemy just moves towards player along x-axis and y-axis. Aim logic. I meant AI logic. Means the enemy calculates the direction towards the player and moves along that exact vector. Okay, I need to learn about vectors as well. Like a missile locked on a player. I think this might be useful actually. I think the typo has gotten me a good idea. How it works in plain words. Find the difference between enemy and player positions. Direction X. I did learn a thing about direction Y. Okay, Pythagoras. Okay, or Pythagoras, is that how you pronounce it? Direction X, direction Y, calculate the distance to the player. Distance equals to distance multiplied or to the power of 2 plus distance y to the power of 2 to the power of 0.5. Pythagoras. Normalize the vector, make it length 1 so speed is consistent. Direction x divided equals to distance. Direction y divided equals to distance. Move the enemy along that vector multiplied by speed. Alright, this makes the enemy aim straight at the player, even diagonally at the speed, and the speed is consistent, no jittering, no weird axes. Okay, let me say, Sensei, I feel like I didn't understand it, So, the formula seemed kinda new, but I think I just need practice. Although, before I write the code, can I see how it looks like? Question mark, like a reference code. Okay, let's see. And maybe I drink some water as well. Vivek, fine, I can show you a reference snippet. I'll keep it short and visual so you can see the aiming enemy in action. Import oh, we can import like that as well. That's actually pretty useful. Okay, import pygame, import sys. We initialize pygame, add a display, add our clock. Okay, pygame and enemy, player and enemies. Okay, we add their rex, we add a speed parameter, loop, we go with the screen.fill, we add an event loop, we add player movements. Okay, enemy aim logic. Okay, so for my enemy aim logic, okay, exclamation equals basically means is not equal to. Okay, so first direction x, we find the direction x. The direction x-axis is going to be our player's x-axis minus our enemy's x-axis. Our direction y-axis is going to be equal to our player's y-axis minus our enemy's y-axis. That's pretty simple. And then we create a distance variable. We set that equal to our direction x to the power of 2 plus our direction y to the power of 2. The whole thing to the power of 0.5. Alright, that should be pretty easy too. If our distance, if this whole thing is basically considered our distance, if our distance is not equals to 0, prevent division by 0. Direction x divided equals to distance, division y divided equals to distance. Enemy dot x-axis is going to increase by direction x times the speed variable, which is set to 3 pixels per frame. Enemy dot y-axis plus direction y is going to increase by speed. Okay, and then we draw, we add our FPS, we flip our display slash update our display, we exit pygame, we exit Python. What you'll see, the green enemy always moves straight towards the player, even diagonally. Speed is consistent, no jittering like before. If player moves, enemy continuously aims towards their new position. Vivek, after seeing this, I want you to rewrite your hero and dragon code using this aim logic instead of axis by axis chasing. Okay, that's your next exercise. Alright, let me get Sensei there. Okay, so if I remember everything correct, I delete the whole code and let's write it again. I start off by importing pygame and sys module. Guys, this is actually so useful with pygame sys. I could just stack up modules here. That said, let me go ahead and initialize pygame by typing pygame.init. Next up, let me go ahead and add my game variables. Before game variables, I will add my display. So for my display, I'll need a width variable and a height variable. My width variable is going to be equal to 1000. Height variable is going to be around 650. And then let me go ahead and create a screen variable. Screen variable is going to be equal to pygame.display.set_more. My mode is going to be equal to my display's width and my display's height. Okay, perfect. And maybe I'll even add a caption. So let me go with a pygame dot display dot set underscore caption. My caption is going to be set to something like, I don't know, let's see, what should my caption be set to? Let's go with AI enemy 1.3. Guys, it's all random names. I'm like awful with saying names. Okay, and then let me go ahead and add a comment that says game variables. This is going to be my game variables. What all game variables would I need? Firstly, I might need a FPS controller. So let me create a clock variable, also that equals to pygame.time.capitalize clock. And maybe I'll add a comment that says FPS controller. Okay, and after my FPS controller, let's see what else would I need. I honestly might need a FPS variable, also that equal to 60 frames per second. And then let me go ahead and load my images. So what are the images would I need? Okay, firstly, I'll go with my hero underscore image. My hero underscore image is going to be equal to pygame.image.load. I'll give the file path of my hero image. My file path is going to be game items followed by 2 forward slashes followed by player 2 more forward slashes. This is going to be my hero PNG. And well, since this is a PNG, I will convert it to alpha. Okay, perfect. And then, honestly, instead of my enemy PNG, since it's going to be chasing me, I might load a projectile. So, let me go with project. How do you spell projectile? There we go. Projectile underscore image. Also, that equal to pygame.image.load. I'll give the file path for my projectile. I honestly forgot the file path. Game items followed by 2 forward slashes followed by projectiles. 2 more forward slashes. Okay, is this gonna be fireball projectile? Okay, what if I go with F? Doesn't work. Enemy projectile? Okay, I'll go with enemy projectile. And well, since this is a PNG, I will convert it to alpha. Okay, perfect. Alright, next up, let me go ahead and transform and load. So I'll add a comment that says transform and scale. Okay, how do I keep spelling transform wrong? That's actually like, guys, this is, I don't even remember the last time I spelled it correct. That said, for my transform, I'm going to be defining a scale function. My scale function will be having 2 parameters. The first parameter is going to be my image parameter. The second is going to be a factor parameter. Factor is basically the size, also the size to be something like 0.1 by default. Okay, and then I'll return something. I'll return pygame dot, let's spell it correct, transform dot scale. I want to scale my image. The size is going to be in a tuple. Maybe I'll go in the next line. I'll go with integer. And now inside of my integer, I'm going to be getting the width of my height and multiplying it by my factor. And then I'm going to be getting the width of my image and then multiplying it by my factor. And then I'll get the height of my image and multiply it by my factor. So I'll go with image dot get underscore width. I'll get the width of my image and I'll multiply it by my factor. Add a comma, and then I'll go with integer, get my image's height, so image.get underscore height function, and I'll multiply it by my factor. Maybe fix my factors typo here. Okay, now let's reassign my images. I'll go with hero underscore image, also that equals to invoke my scale function. I want to scale my hero underscore image. And then let me go with my projectile underscore image, also that equals to invoke my scale function. I want to scale my projectile image. Although I want my projectile image to be smaller than my hero image, like relatively smaller. So let me change this to 0.5. Okay, that should be pretty good. Actually, I think, yeah, 0.5 should be pretty good. Alright, next up, what else would I need? Next up, I can't think of anything, so let me go ahead and add my game loop. For my game loop, I'm going to be creating a is underscore running boolean variable. Uh, t- t- uh, See, I could have sworn that I actually got a comment. Let's see. Guys, didn't you guys just see in the screen? I think it's bugged or something. I actually saw in the screen that I got a comment from like Kick. Okay, that said, I'll create a is underscore running boolean variable so that equals to true. And then I'll add a while loop. So while is underscore running while my program is running or while my is running is set to true. I'm going to be filling my screen with something. So I'll go with a screen.fill. I'll keep my screen to be something like blue. So 0, 231, and 183. No, mind 255. Okay, and then let me create a keys variable also that equal to pygame dot key actually pygame dot key dot get underscore pressed function. Okay, this checks if any of my keys on my keyboard gets pressed. Alright, and then let me go ahead and add a event loop. So event loop. For my event loop, I'm going to be iterating slash looping over all my pygame events. So I'll go with for every event in my pygame.event.get. This basically gets all my pygame event, but I'm looking for a specific type of event. If my event.type equals to pygame.all uppercase quit, I'll set my is underscore running boolean variable to be equal to true. I don't know why did I add a colon there. Okay, and then there we go. And then outside my for loop, I'm going to be resetting like using my clock variable dot the tick function. This is for my FPS. So I'll add my FPS variable which is set to 60. Maybe I'll add a comment that says FPS as well. And then I'll go with pygame.display.flip. This basically updates my display, although pygame.display.update would work exactly the same as pygame.display.flip. That said, I will fix my typo here, display. Okay, and then let me go ahead and add a pygame.quit to quit my pygames, and lastly a sys.exit to exit my Python program. Alright. Okay, let's see, what else would I need? Guys, I feel like I just cramped my hands. God damn. Ouch, that hurts. Okay, what else would I need? I actually might need, let's see. Okay, so I gotta find the directions, right? So let me add a comment. Okay, outside my for loop, I'm going to be adding a comment that says enemy chases player. Okay, for my enemy chases player. Honestly, before that, let me add Rex for my player. Rex basically means rectangle. So let me go with, let's say, Rex. For my Rex, I want to try one thing honestly. I'll go with my hero underscore image dot the get underscore Rex function. Okay, I don't want to do this because I don't want to set a exact rect, so I'll just go with my hero underscore rect. Okay, I'll set that equal to pygame dot rect. I do want to use my get underscore rect though. I mean, it's the exact same thing. Okay, so I'll be needing an x-axis, y-axis, width, and my hero's x-axis is going to be 100, y-axis is going to be 300, width is going to be 50, height is going to be 50. Okay, so it is a square. And then I'll go for my, let's say, my projectile underscore rect. I'll set that equal to pygame dot capitalize rect. X-axis is going to be 500, y-axis is going to be something like 300, width is going to be 50, height is going to be 50. Okay. Alright, let's see what else. Okay, honestly, next up, enemy chases player. Under my enemy chases player category, I'm going to be adding a few if statements. So first if statement is going to be for if my projectile, okay, underscore rect, let me change this to projectile. Okay, so if my projectile dot x-axis is less than my hero underscore rect dot x-axis, then I'm going to be increasing my, wait, hold up, this is me, this is my enemy chasing my player in axes. I'm pretty sure I don't need to do that. Okay, so instead enemy aim logic, so this has got to be projectile aim logic. Okay, let's see, for my projectile aim logic, first I gotta find directions. Okay, so direction x is going to be equal to, let's see, Let's go with my projectile underscore rect dot x-axis minus my hero underscore rect dot x-axis. My direction y is going to be equal to my projectile underscore rect dot y-axis minus my hero underscore rect dot y-axis. Okay, I spelled projectile underscore rect wrong. Let me copy that, paste it here. Okay, next I needed something like distance, right? So distance is going to be equal to, I'm pretty sure I remember this part, guys, even though the reference code is like open in the next page. Although this is going to be my direction x, the power of 2, was it plus direction y to the power of 2. Okay, and the whole thing is going to be to the power of 0.5. Alright, after this part I forgot, so I will look at the reference code. Okay, I check if my distance, so let's say if my distance variable here is not equal to 0, I'll go with my direction x divided equals to, I will need a speed variable as well. So let me go ahead and create a speed variable, also that equal to 3 pixels per frame. SPEED, there we go. Okay, this is going to be my speed. Okay, and then I'll go with my direction y divided equals to my speed. Okay, was this correct? Oh no, it is distance, not speed. Okay, distance. Guys, did I really spell distance wrong 2 times? Control V, Control V. Okay, next up. Okay, now I use my enemy speed. So outside my if statement, I'll go ahead and add my projectile underscore rect dot x-axis. I will increase that by my speed, and then I'll go with my projectile underscore rect dot y-axis. I will increase that by my speed as well. Okay, what do I need next? Let's see. Honestly, I actually why is your screen smaller? Is my screen smaller? Like probably because this is like my vertical my vertical stream. Although in my channel I am streaming like vertically and horizontally at the same time, so in the horizontal stream my screen is going to be a bit more wider than my vertical one, if that made any sense. Okay, that said, next up let me go ahead and add my player movement. Okay, for my player movement, let's see, what do I need for my player movement? I'll add a few if statements. If my keys at index of pygame.k is right, if my right key is pressed, I'm going to be increasing my hero underscore rect by 5 pixels per frame. And if my keys at index of pygame.k is left, if my left key is pressed, I'm going to be decreasing my hero underscore rect dot x-axis by 5 pixels per frame. This is going to be decreasing pygame. There's going to be a dot here. This is going to be dot x-axis. Excuse me, guys. Alright, and then excuse me again, guys. If my keys at index of pygame dot k is up, if my top key is pressed, I am going to be decreasing my hero underscore rect dot y-axis this time by 5 pixels per frame. And if my keys at index of pygame dot k is down, there we go. Is that how you spell down? This is going to be pygame. Okay, I'm going to go with my hero underscore rect dot y-axis. I will increase that by 5 pixels per frame. Okay. Next up, let me go ahead and add graphics. So I'll add a comment that says graphics. For my graphics, I'm going to be drawing my player and my NPC. Let's see if the base inside did it. Also, it is going to be the regular stuff. Okay, so I'll go with pygame.draw dot rect. My enemy and my player are both going to be rects, so my surface will be my screen. The color is going to be, I don't know, it's just going to be like, wait, hold up guys, I might go with a screen dot blit because I don't want to draw like I want to have PNGs. The surface will be my screen. I don't need surface because I already added my surface. So surface dot blit, that's surface, that's source. Now I gotta add my surface area. So I want to load my hero underscore image at the given dest, which is going to be in a tuple of my hero underscore rect dot x-axis. and my hero underscore rect dot y-axis. Okay, and then I'll go with another screen dot blitz for my enemy, screen dot blitz for my projectile. I'll go with my projectile underscore image at the given depth of my projectile underscore rect dot x-axis and my projectile underscore rect dot y-axis. Okay, perfect. Let's run the command and see. Guys, what command did I do? I'm pretty sure I loaded something. There we go, I knew it. Now, is there an error? There is an error. This is going to be my hero. Oh, let me change that to lowercase hero. No, I gotta change that everywhere now. Hero. Oh wait, no mind, I don't. Okay, now if I run the command, why is my... Doesn't my projectile like gotta come towards me? Let's see if I messed up the... I can't even exit my display. Did I add a... Okay, for my event loop, I did add a event loop. Why can't I cancel my display, guys? It's... For every event in pygame.event.type, oh, this should be false. There we go. My bad, guys, we're good now. Okay, I can at least exit my display. Okay. There needs to be something different in this place. So distance equals to direction x to the power of 2 plus direction y to the power of 2. Did that? The whole thing to the power of 2. If direction... Okay, if distance is not equal to 0, direction x divided by distance, direction y divided by distance. Direction x is going to be... There we go. Okay, so first I add my hero x-axis minus my projectile's x-axis. And then I delete this part. I go with my hero.y-axis minus my projectile. Okay, wait, this is going to be hero.x-axis. There we go. Now I've run the command. Why does it like leave me? Okay, that's player minus enemy. Da-da-da. Okay, and then enemy plus equals to speed. What if I change that to minus equals? That shouldn't make a difference, right? Okay, projectile y-axis minus equals. I mean, that should like make a difference, but he doesn't follow me. Let's go with Control Z, Control Z. Okay, I'll go with a Control A, Control C. Let me get Sensei here. There we go. Y keep up, you reducing 5px. Y key up. Y key up, you're reducing 5 pixels. Do you mean like key up here? Okay, up. Yeah, for up, like when I hit the top key, my player goes up. This basically means, because like in Python, the top is like if you reduce and the bottom is if you increase. That's kind of messed up for like this thing, because like if I run the command, with this setting, my player can like move perfect. So like if I hit the top key, he goes up. If I hit the bottom key, he goes down. If I hit the left key, or he goes left, right key, he goes right. Okay, so that's basically in Python. It's like if you want to go top, you reduce. If you want to go on the bottom, you increase. If you want to go to the left side, you you decrease. If you want to go to the right side, you increase. Alright, now let me get Sensei here. And guys, I apologize if I can't read the comments almost instantly, because I'm sometimes like, I just have like 2 monitors, so like sometimes my Sensei is on the left monitor while I see something. That said, let me paste that a bunch of space and say Sensei, I feel like I messed up. Messed up, exclamation. Okay, let's see. Vivek, I see exactly where you blew it. You calculated distance x and distance y correctly, but you never used them. Instead, okay, you're just adding speed to both projectile x and projectile y axis. Okay, so projectile x axis plus equals to... Okay, here's the thing. Didn't like Sensei back up here say me like... I literally copied what Sensei said. Okay, never mind. I didn't copy it correct, guys. Damn, 250 days is crazy. Honestly, I feel it's pretty less in my opinion. I wanted to keep it a bit more, but I'll leave that for the next time. Next time I might go with like another 350, because like I want to like add it up to like 1,000 in total, like eventually like get it to 1,000. That said, I'm not like sure about that. Let me actually get Sensei here. Okay, let's see. So I basically messed up here, so this should be my the projectile underscore rect plus equals to, this is going to be my direction x multiplied by my speed. Okay, and this is going to be my direction y multiplied by my speed. Okay, now if I run the command. Oh wow, they actually chased me. Okay, perfect, I think. Okay. I wish I knew this like while like in my day 100 for my Python for 100 days series. That was actually going to be pretty good. Okay, that's it. Let me copy this. And guys, I honestly might need to end the stream a little sooner than usual because I do gotta record a lot of videos, edit, and I have an exam coming up next week. Okay, let me say Subsay. I feel like I got this. I just need more practice now. Okay, let's see. Okay, got it. Vivek, finally I can hear your brains click. Okay, yes, this is exactly how aim logic works. That projectile now actually follows your hero, not just blindly diagonally. Not just blindingly diagonally. Okay. You're the stage where practice is everything. Spawn multiple projectiles that all track the player, change their speed dynamically, make the player dodge them, maybe even add collision logic, try combining projectile plus enemy chase. Suddenly your game feels alive. Vivek, keep experimenting with this until aim logic is second nature. Once you master it, okay, let me say. So say, can I get a do I want to do a mini chat or like a mini project or an instructional based questions? Let's go with a mini project. Okay, let's see. Vivek, alright, listen up. I've got a mini project that will tell you to combine everything you've learned about movement, even aim and things, and PNGs. This is not for the faint of heart, but I know you can handle it. Perfect. Dodge the dragon's fire. Goal. Your hero can move around the screen. A dragon or enemy stays in place or moves slowly but fire projectiles at your hero. You must dodge the projectile. Each hit reduces health. Survival as long as possible. I see. Your hero can move around the screen. Dragon or enemy stays in a place or moves slowly. Okay, but fire projectiles at your hero. You must dodge the projectiles. Oh, I see. Okay, okay. Requirements: hero PNG, dragon PNG, health bar, game over, optional, stretch goals. Da, da, da. Okay, this is going to be fun. Wait, this mini project ties together player movement with PNG, enemy aim logic, projectiles with aiming, health bar slash damage mechanics. Alright, let me get Sensei here. Okay, let him cook. He's cooking. Hell yeah. Guys, I don't know much about me cooking. I think let me just read this part real quick. Okay, direction x, direction y, distance, if distance is not zero, there, okay, perfect. Okay, so let me start off by importing Pygame. I'll import Pygame. Honestly, I'll even import sys, and then let me initialize Pygame by typing pygame.init. Okay, after initializing Pygame, let's see. Let me go ahead and create my display. So I'll add a display comment. I'll create two variables. First is going to be a width variable, and then I'll have a height variable. My width variable is going to be 1000, and height variable is going to be 650. Then let me go ahead and create a screen variable that equals to pygame dot display dot set underscore mode. My mode is going to be set to a tuple, which is going to be my display's width and height. Okay, maybe let me add a caption as well. So I'll go with pygame.display.set underscore caption. Okay, I forgot. What was the name that Sensei said before the game? Let's see. Okay, dodge the dragon's fire. Alright. So let me go ahead and add dodge the dragon's fire. Dodge the dragon's fire. Maybe I'll title case the whole stuff. Okay, next up, let me go ahead and add a few, let's say, game variables. Okay, so what all would I need? Honestly, I actually might add a gravity variable. So I'll create a gravity variable, also that equals to 0.5. Okay, and after gravity, let's see, I might need a clock variable, also that equals to pygame.time.capitalize clock. Maybe I'll add a comment that says this is going to be my FPS controller. Okay, and then let me go ahead and add a FPS variable, so that equal to 60 frames per second. Alright, next up, let me go ahead and load images. So, I'll need 3 images. The first is going to be my hero underscore image, so that equal to something like pygame.image.load. The file path is going to be my game items followed by 2 forward slashes followed by, let's say, player 2 more forward slashes. This is going to be my hero PNG, and since this is a PNG, I will convert it to alpha. Okay, and then let me go ahead and load my... Okay, do I want to load a dragon image or a skeleton? Honestly, I think I'll go with a skeleton image. There we go. Skeleton underscore image. Okay, and then maybe delete that. Okay, I'll set my skeleton underscore image to be equal to pygame.image.load. I'll give the file path. My file path is going to be game items. Okay, there we go. Game item followed by 2 forward slashes followed by NPCs, 2 more forward slashes. This is going to be my skeleton image. And well, since this is a PNG, I will convert it to alpha. Okay, perfect. And then let me go ahead and load my, let's see. My projectiles. So I'll load my fire projectile. Or I'll just go with my projectile. How do you spell projectile? There we go. Projectile underscore image, also that equal to pygame.image.load. I'll give the file path of my projectile. My file path is going to be game item followed by 2 forward slashes followed by projectiles. Maybe zoom out a bit so you guys can see. 2 more forward slashes. This is going to be my enemy projectile. And well, since this is a PNG, I will convert it to alpha. Okay, perfect. Okay, and then let me go ahead and transform and scale my images. So I'll add a comment that, excuse me guys, that says transform and scale. To transform and scale, I'm going to be defining a scale function. For my scale function, I have 2 parameters. The first is going to be an image parameter. The second is going to be a factor parameter. My factor is going to be set to 0.1 by default. Okay, next up, let me go ahead and return pygame.transform.scale. I want to transform my image. The size is going to be in a tuple. Maybe I'll go in a new line, go with integer. Now I'm going to be getting the width of my image and multiplying it by my factor, and then I'll get the height of my image and multiply it by my factor. But before that, I'll drink some water. Kinda dehydrated, guys. So I'll go with my image.get underscore height. Actually, I'll go with width first. It's honestly the same thing. And then I'll multiply it by my factor. And then I'll go with integer image.get underscore height. I'll get the height of my image and multiply it by my factor now. Okay, perfect. Okay, and then let me transform my images. I'll go with my hero underscore image. So that equal to pygame. Actually, not pygame.image. I'll invoke my scale function. I want to scale my hero underscore image. My hero underscore image factor is going to be 0.1, but for my skeleton underscore image, also that equal to invoke my scale function. I want to scale my skeleton underscore image. The size will be relatively bigger than my hero, so like 3, the factor. And then my projectile underscore image, also that equal to pygame. Okay, also that equal to invoke my scale function. I want to scale my, let's say, projectile underscore image. The factor is going to be relatively smaller than my hero, so I'll go with, honestly, okay, maybe 0.5. Yeah, actually I'll keep it smaller than my hero. Okay, next up, let me go ahead and create classes now, since I can't think of any variables. Honestly, should I create a floor variable? I think I can create a floor variable. I'll create a floor variable, so that equal to pygame dot capitalize rect. My floor's x-axis is going to be set to something like, I don't know, 0. Y-axis is going to be set to 500. Display's width is going to be set to my width variable, and height is going to be set to something like 300. Okay, and then let me go ahead and add a loose screen. This is because there's only a way for my player to lose for now. So I'll create a variable called loose screen underscore UI. Okay, my loose screen UI is going to be equal to pygame.image.load. I'll give the file path of my loose screen UI. My file path is going to be game item followed by 2 forward slashes followed by screens, 2 more forward slashes. This is going to be my loose screen PNG. and I will convert this. I won't convert it to alpha because this is a UI and this is going to be covering my entire display. I'm not going to be using it as a PNG. Alright, then let me transform it. I'll go with blue screen UI, also that equal to pygame.transform.scale. I want to scale my blue screen UI. The size is going to be in a tuple of my display's width and my display's height. Okay, perfect. Next up, I don't think I'm going to be adding a text. I won't create a font for this. I'm not making this too fancy, guys. This is just for me learning. Okay, and then let me create classes. The first class I'm going to be creating, should I create parent classes? Fine, I'll do it. Okay, for my move class will have a dungeon init constructor. My dungeon constructor will be having two parameters. The first is going to be x-axis underscore velocity. The second is going to be a y-axis underscore velocity. And then let me create a few instance variables. So I'll go with self.x-axis underscore velocity. I'll set that to x-axis underscore velocity. Okay, and then self.y-axis underscore velocity is going to be equal to y-axis underscore velocity. Okay, then let me go ahead and create another class for my game object. So game object class. My game did I spell it correct? There we go. My game object class is going to be inheriting from my moves class. Okay, and then let me go ahead and define a dungeon init constructor. My dungeon constructor will be having a few parameters. For example, my object class needs a y-axis underscore velocity. I could set that equal to 0. A x-axis underscore velocity, I can set that equal to 0 as well. A position, I can set that equal to a tuple of 0, 0. And then let's see. Honestly, that's pretty much it. And like image, I'll add the image here because like arguments always go before keyword arguments. Alright, and then since I am inheriting from a class, I'll add a super perf parentheses dot dungeon init, and inside my super dungeon init, I'm going to be adding all the parameters from the class that I'm inheriting from. Since I'm inheriting from my move class, I'm going to be adding all the parameters of my move class. My move class has a x-axis underscore velocity parameter, also that equal to my game object class x-axis underscore velocity parameter. My move class has a y-axis underscore velocity parameter, also that equal to my game objects class y-axis underscore velocity parameter. Okay, that's like pretty much it. Now let me go ahead and create a few instance variables for my game objects class. For example, a self.image instance variable, also that equal to my image parameter. A self.rect instance variable, also that equal to my self.image.beget underscore rect function. My rect position is going to be set to top left, which is going to be equal to my position. Okay, and lastly, let me go ahead and create a self.mask. I don't know much about mask, guys, because do I want to do a pixel perfect collision? When did you first start programming? Honestly, if today is like my first day of my programming for 250 days, I started programming exactly 101 days ago. Like, I don't remember the exact date, but in my channel, if you go to the Python for 100 days series, my first ever video there is like when I first ever started programming. Although it was like 7 days before that, because that one video had like 7 days clumped inside of it, if that made any sense. Okay, I should have noted my date. Okay, that said, let me go ahead and add pygame.mask.from underscore surface. Okay, my surface is going to be my self.image. Alright, perfect. Let's see what else would I need. Honestly, let me go ahead and define a few functions now. Actually, a few methods now, because functions inside of classes are called methods. So let me define a, let's say, draw method, because all my objects or my classes will need a draw method. So for my draw method, I'm going to be having a surface parameter, which is going to be set to screen by default. Okay, perfect. Hey, give me a sec, guys. Let me just message my sister and Sarah to leave from here because like it's too noisy. There we go. Okay, that said, let me go ahead and add a surface.blitz. I want to blitz my self.image and my position is going to be my self.rect. Alright, let's see. Okay, next up, let me go ahead and create my actual classes. I am going to be needing a health bar class, but before that, I'll create a hero class. This is going to be for my hero object, so hero class. My hero class will inherit from my game objects class. Okay, and then let me go ahead and define a dungeon init constructor. What all parameters would my hero class need? My hero class would need x-axis underscore velocity, also that equal to like 5 pixels per frame. A y-axis underscore velocity, also that equal to 5 pixels per frame as well. my hero class would need a image parameter, also that equal to my hero underscore image. And then lastly, a position parameter, which is going to be equal to something like 100 by 300. Okay, perfect. And then let me go ahead and add a super dungeon init constructor, super parentheses dot dungeon init. My super dungeon init is going to be inheriting or all the my super dungeon init will have all the parameters of my game objects class. So my game objects class has a image parameter, also that equal to my hero class's image. My game objects class has a x-axis underscore velocity parameter, also that equal to my x-axis underscore velocity. My hero class has a y-axis underscore velocity parameter, also that equal to my hero class of y-axis underscore velocity. My objects class has a position parameter, also that equal to my hero's position parameter. Okay, perfect. Okay, let me just check if I'm audible. Guys, I forgot if I like charged my mic yesterday. Okay, it's going good on YouTube. Let me check. Okay, I think if it's going good on YouTube, it'll be going good on Kick as well. Okay, with that said, would my hero need any specific or like any special move methods? Or like any special methods? I think my hero might need a move method actually, yeah. And another parameter of something like jump underscore strength. Okay, my jump underscore strength is going to be equal to -4. Just zoom out so you guys could see it. Okay, now zoom back in. Alright, let me go ahead and create an instance variable for my jump strength. So self.jump underscore strength is going to be equal to my jump strength parameter. Now let me go ahead and define a few methods. So the first method is going to be my move method. My move method will need a parameter of keys to it because I will be checking which key is pressed by my keyboard. And then add a bunch of if statements. If my keys at index of pygame.k is, I don't know, right? If my right key is pressed, I will be increasing my self.rect.x-axis, my hero's x-axis, by my self.x-axis underscore velocity. And if my keys at index of pygame.k is left, if my left key is pressed, I'm going to be decreasing my self.rect.x-axis, my hero's x-axis, by my self.x-axis underscore velocity. And if my keys at index of pygame.k is up, if my top key is pressed. Okay, honestly, I want my hero to jump this time, so I'll just go with pygame.k is space. If my space bar is clicked, I'm going to be setting my self.y-axis underscore velocity, my hero's y-axis underscore velocity, to equal to my self.jump strength. Excuse me, guys. Honestly, that's basically it. Let me go ahead and define another apply gravity method. Excuse me again, guys. Let me go ahead and define another apply gravity method. So I'll go with apply underscore gravity. My apply gravity method won't have any parameters, although I will do something. Firstly, I will increase my hero's y-axis underscore velocity by my gravity so it pulls my hero downwards. So let's go with self.y-axis underscore velocity. I'll increase that by my gravity variable. And then I will increase my hero's y-axis underscore position. So my self.rect.y-axis, my hero's y-axis, by my self.y-axis underscore velocity. What this means is my hero is going to be pulled down, but then he's going to be pulled down forever. I need to add a landing as well. So let me add a comment that says landing. Okay, for my landing, this is going to be landing. Alright, so for my landing, I'm going to be adding an if statement. So if my self.rect.bottom, if my hero's bottom is greater than or equal to my float variable, which I've previously created, .y-axis, I'll set my self.rect.bottom to be equal to my floor.y-axis. Honestly, I might add +20 as well, just for like the visuals. There we go. Okay, and then I'll reset my hero's y-axis underscore velocity. So self.y-axis underscore velocity equals to 0. Now my hero needs to hit space again in order for him to jump. Alright, perfect. That's basically it. Actually, I might add a trap method for my hero so my hero can't exit my window. So let me go with trap hero in window. To trap my hero in window, I'll go with self.rect.x-axis, my hero's x-axis, so that equal to max. Max is going to be set to 0. Min is going to be set to my self.rect.x-axis, my hero's current x-axis, 1000, my vertical window size. I might go with 1080 because my PNG needs some visuals too. So this is going to be my hero completely exiting the window minus my self dot rect dot width, my hero's width. Okay, and then let me go ahead and add one for height as well. I mean y-axis as well. So I'll go with self.rect.y-axis. I'm going to reassign my hero's y-axis to be equal to max. Max is going to be 0. Honestly, I might change it to something like -20. There we go. Alright, min is going to be something like self.rect.y-axis. My hero's current y-axis, 650. My vertical window size minus self.rect.height. My hero's current height. Okay, that's it. That's basically it for this. Next up, let me go ahead and create a class for my health bar, because since I did say I'll need a health bar. So let's create a health bar class, health nats. Health bar. My health bar class, since it's a UI in the game, it's not going to be inheriting from my game objects class, because it's not like a game's physical object. It's like a UI that's going to be following my player, or like just stuck to my player's rect. Okay, so I am going to be defining a dungeon constructor for my health bar, which is going to be having a parameter of max underscore HP. I'll set that equal to 100 for now. Actually 100, because my hero's max HP is going to be 100. And then let me go ahead and create a few instance variables. The first is going to be self dot let's go with current underscore HP. My hero's current HP is going to be equal to my max HP variable, which is set to 100. Self dot let's say max underscore HP is going to be equal to max underscore HP, my hero's max HP. And then let me load the file path for my health bar's PNGs. And since there are multiple PNGs for my hero's health bar, I am going to be loading a dictionary. So self dot I don't know HP underscore path, I'll set that equal to a dictionary, and then add my file path. So 0 HP PNG is going to be pygame dot image dot load. I'll give the file path of my image. My file path is going to be game item followed by 2 forward slashes followed by I don't know like health bar, 2 more forward slashes. This is going to be my 0 HP health bar. And well, since this is a PNG, I will convert it to alpha. Okay, and then add a comma. Let me copy that, paste it a few more times. That's 20 HP, 40 HP, 60 HP, 80 HP, 100 HP. Now I'll just change that 0 to 20, 0 to 20, 0 to 40, 0 to 40, 0 to 60, 0 to 60, 0 to 80, 0 to 80, and lastly 0 to 100 and 0 to 100. Okay, next up, let me iterate over my dictionary. So I'll go with for every key in my self.hp path, I'll go with self.hp path at index of key equals to, I'll invoke my scale function because I want to scale all my specific keys values, if that made any sense. Okay, I want to scale my self.hp underscore path at index of key. Okay, perfect. Next up, let me go ahead and define a take underscore damage method. My take damage method will have a parameter of amount to it. Okay, and guys, I'm not going to make this game like really detailed, so I won't add a heal method because I don't want to add drops or anything. That said, my take damage method will have a few parameters. Let's see. Actually, not parameters. I'll go with my self.current HP, my hero's current HP. I'm going to be reassigning it equal to max. Max is going to be 0. My hero's HP can go less than 0. And then self.current HP minus amount. Okay, perfect. That's pretty much it. Let me go ahead and define a draw method. My health bar object will need a draw method. That's going to be having a parameter of surface, which is going to be set to screen by default. Okay, next up, let's see. Firstly, let me iterate over my dictionaries again. And then I'm going to be using a conditional expression to only blip the dictionaries related to the health bar that I had, if that made any sense. I'll explain it a bit, guys. So I'll go with HP underscore key variable, also that equal to max, and a conditional expression. I'll iterate over my dictionary for every k slash key, for every key in my self.hp underscore path, self.hp underscore path. I'll add a if statement. There we go. I'll go with if my keys at index of pygame dot. Wait, hold up, guys. My bad. I got distracted for a second. If my key is less than or equal to my self.current HP, what this basically means is once I iterate over my HP paths dictionary, I ask a if statement. So if my current key is either less than or equal to my player's current HP, I am going to be showing that current key's value on the screen, if that made any sense. Then I'll create an image variable, and then I'll go with self.hp path at index of key, at index of HP key. Okay, next up, let me go ahead and create x-axis for what's the x-axis going to be of my player. Before I create a x-axis, I will need to create a few objects. So first, let me go ahead and create a hero object, also that equal to my hero class. Okay, perfect. So my x-axis is going to be equal to my hero center minus my images width center. To do that, I'll go with my hero object dot rect. Oh, mic testing, mic testing. Okay, guys, I didn't even realize when my OBS just crashed. That was awful. I'm glad I checked if my stream was going good. Okay, that said, I didn't do that much more. I just went with, whatchamacallit. I added my x-axis and y-axis, and then I went with like a surface.blade. I created an object for my health bar, then added my event loop, added a screen.fill, filled my screen. Okay, went with a keys variable, set that equal to pygame.key.get_press to check if my key got pressed. And then I iterated over my Pygame events, and now I check for a specific type of event. If my event.type equals to Pygame.quit, I'll set my is_running boolean variable to be equal to false. Okay, and then let's see what else. Outside my for loop, I'll go with a clock.tick. This is going to be my FPS. I'll add my FPS variable. Maybe I'll add a comment here that says FPS. And then I'll go with a pygame.display.flip. This basically updates my display. And then I'll go with a pygame.quit. This exits my pygame. And then I'll go with a sys.exit that exits my Python. Okay, why is our screen smaller? Okay, with that said, what is the next thing that Sensei said to do? Let's see. Okay, so Sensei said hero PNG. Health bar logic, okay, health bar for hero, I did that, decreases health, game over, Okay, stretch goals, if you feel spicy, multiple dragons flying at once, different projectiles. Okay, I see. Okay, next up, let's see. Okay, so first I need to find direction x, direction y, distance x, okay. So maybe under my event loop, under my for loop here, let's see, I might do something. Okay, what do I do? I drink some water to jog my memory, guys. And I do probably gotta go like after this code. Because I like gotta record a video for my 100 series ending and then even like make a few shorts and then study for my exam, which is like next week. Okay, that said. First, let me go ahead and add my player movement. Actually, this is going to be my game object details. For my game object details, I'll go with my hero object.the move method. Okay, and this is going to be the keys parameter. Alright, next up, let's see. I might add graphics as well, so I'll go with the graphics. For my graphics, I'll go with my hero object.draw. This is going to draw my hero. And then my health_bar object.the draw method. That's going to draw my health bar. Did I add a dragon class? I did. So let me go ahead and add my dragon class as well. I'll create a class for my dragon, and my dragon class will inherit from my game objects class. I will define a dungeon init constructor. My dungeon constructor will have a few parameters like x-axis_velocity equals to 5 pixels per frame, y-axis_velocity equals to 5 pixels per frame as well. My dragon won't be moving, so let me just change that to 0 and 0. Guys, I want my dragon to be still. And then let's see, my image is going to be equal to my dragon image. My position is going to be equal to a tuple of x-axis is going to be set to something like 600, y-axis is going to be set to 100. Okay. That looks pretty decent, doesn't it? Okay, then let me go ahead and add a super pair of parentheses .dungeon init. Now, inside of my super dungeon init, after I fix my typo here, Okay, I'm going to be adding all the parameters of the class that I'm inheriting from. Since I'm inheriting from my game objects class, I'm going to be adding all the parameters of my game objects class inside of my super dungeon in it. So I'll go with x-axis underscore velocity is going to be equal to my dragon class x-axis underscore velocity, y-axis underscore velocity equals to my dragon class y-axis underscore velocity, image equals to my dragon class's image, position equals to my dragon class's position. Excuse me guys, and that's basically it for this. Okay, under my graphics, I'll go with my, I will create a dragon, there we go, a dragon underscore, not image, dragon object, also that equal to my dragon class. Okay, and then I'll go with a dragon, my dragon object dot the dramater. Alright, perfect. Hero dot draw, hellbar dot draw, dragon dot draw. Okay, I need to add a projectile class as well. So under my health bar class, I will be adding a projectile class as well. So I'll create a class for my project. How do you spell projectile? There we go, projectile class. And the question is, will my projectile class inherit from my game objects class? Honestly, yeah, it will. So I'll go with game objects, and then let's define a dungeon init constructor. There we go. Okay, so what are the parameters my projectile class need? Did I load my projectile class image? I did load a projectile class image, okay. So let me go with a image parameter first. This is going to be equal to my projectile class's image, and then x-axis underscore velocity as well, which is going to be equal to, I don't know, like 4 pixels or like 3 pixels per frame, a y-axis underscore velocity, which is going to be equal to 3 pixels per frame as well. Let's say something like position is going to be equal to none. Position equals to none. Okay, next up, let me add a if statement. If my position is set to none, that it is currently set to none, I am not going to be randomizing my position. I will set my position to be equal to my dragon object dot rect dot x-axis, my dragon object's x-axis. Okay, if that doesn't make sense, I think it makes sense, right? Niranjan said hi. How are you doing, Niranjan? I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, that said, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. And then outside my if statement, I'll go ahead and add a super parentheses dot dungeon init constructor. My dungeon init constructor. Maybe I fixed my typo of super. Okay, so my super dungeon init constructor is going to be having all the parameters from the class that I'm inheriting from. Since I'm inheriting from my game objects class, I'm going to be having all the parameters from my game objects class. So my game objects class has an image parameter, also that equal to my projectile class's image. My game objects class has an x-axis underscore velocity, also that to my projectile class's x-axis underscore velocity. This is going to be x. And then my game objects class has a y-axis underscore velocity, also that equal to my projectile class and y-axis underscore velocity. Lastly, my game objects class has a position parameter, also that equal to my projectile class's position parameter. Okay, and that's pretty much it actually. Actually, I might add a few methods now. Okay, the method that I'm going to be adding, what is this called? Is project aim logic. So, aim logic. For my aim logic, let's see, I will be copying this part though, not like copy pasting, but like copying, like seeing the reference. Direction X is going to be equal to, first it's going to be my hero. Okay, so my hero object dot my hero's rect dot x-axis minus my projectile object. Okay, so it is going to be my projectile object. Do I want to create, okay, wait, never mind. Instead of projectile object, I'll go with self dot rect dot x-axis. Alright, hero.rect. Isn't this like supposed to work? I'm very sure this is supposed to work. I'm like, actually, my game objects class has a x-axis. Oh, okay. Instead of this, let me change that to be 500 by 100. Okay, is this Is this 500 or 600? My dragon class 600. So I'll change that to 600 by 100. The same position as my dragon class. Direction X, my hero is Rex x-axis minus my self.rect.x-axis. Isn't this supposed to be correct? Heroes Rex x-axis minus projectile.rect.x-axis. Okay, self.rect.x-axis. Does my okay, x-axis velocity is there in my move class? Don't you have like x-axis here? I do have x-axis that is set to a position. What if I remove the random position from here? Will that okay. Oh wait, should this go under? Okay, I think I know. Let me go with a bunch of control C's. Okay, let me scroll down. Instead of going with aim logic as a comment, I'll define a aim underscore logic method. Indent this inside my aim logic method. There we go. Okay, there we go. Kind of panic for a second. Direction y is going to be equal to my hero dot rect dot y-axis minus myself dot rect dot y-axis. Okay, perfect. And then I'll need a distance, so I'll create a distance variable. So that equal to a tuple of my direction x to the power of 2 plus my direction y to the power of 2. The whole thing is going to be to the power of 0.5. Okay, let's see. And then I add a if statement. So if my distance is not equal to 0, if my distance isn't equal to 0, I'm going to be doing something. What am I going to be doing? I'll go with direction x divided equals to my distance. And then I'll go with direction y divided equals to my distance as well, distance. Okay, perfect. And then outside my if statement, I move projectile along the normalized vector. I gotta learn the definition of vectors. So I'll add a comment that says move projectile along the normalized vector. Normalized. There we go. Normalized vector. Did I spell normalized correct? Normalize. There we go. Normalized vector. Okay, so to move it, first I go with my projectiles x-axis. I increase that by my direction x, and I multiply that by my speed. I think I see. So I go with my self.rect.x-axis, my projectiles x-axis. I increase that by my direction x multiplied by my self.x-axis underscore velocity. And then I go with self.rect.y-axis, my projectile's y-axis. I increase that by my direction y multiplied by my self.rect.y-axis underscore velocity. Actually, not rect, self.y-axis underscore velocity. Okay, that's basically it, right? Okay, so underneath my game objects class, I'll go with let me create a projectiles object real quick right here. I'll go with projectile. I'll set that equal to my projectile class. Okay, and now maybe I delete that extra space. There. Okay, now under my game objects class, I'll go with my projectile object dot the aim logic. Okay, so I implemented aim logic here. Next up, let me go ahead and draw a floor because my player needs a place to stand on. I'll go with pygame.draw.rect. My floor surface is going to be my screen. My floor's color, the RGB color is going to be 145.108 by 0. This is basically brown. And then I'll go with my floor variables attributes. Okay, pygame.draw.rect. Alright, if I were to run the command now, just delete that extra space. I ran the wrong code, guys. Hold up. There we go. imported something. Okay, it's called skeleton underscore image, not dragon image. Let's fix that real quick. Where's the error? What line? Line 77. Okay, guys, I forgot the image name. It was not dragon, it was skeleton. This is going to be skeleton underscore image, and that's going to be my skeleton class. There we go. And now my object is going to be my... It's going to be my skeleton class. That's going to be skeleton object. And then I go with skeleton.draw. Okay, perfect. Now if I were to run the command, line 103 attribute error pygame.rect has no attribute centerx. Did you mean centerx? Okay, guys, I did a typo real quick. Line 103 right here. Okay, hero.rect CEN. Oh, I spelled centerx wrong. CENTERX. There we go. There we go. Okay, so that's my player. My player can move. Okay, let me just go to my player class and even maybe fix my dragons. Let me just delete that real quick. I just want to test something. Okay, my hero can go up. Okay, let me add my trap again. Okay, so under my apply gravity, that's my hero. Okay, for my dragon image, let's get invisible real quick. I'll change that to 100 by 100. Now if I run the command, where's my dragon at? Should I change this to 0 by 0? So like the top left. Okay, let's see. I have my health bar. Does my hero have a health bar above his... Okay, he does have a health bar that moves with him. So the health bar logic's correct. So the centrex isn't the issue. Okay, that's skeleton, health bar, hero, projectile. Okay, I go with my skeleton.draw. Since my skeleton inherits from my game objects class, my game objects class has a draw method surface.blitz. I blitz my health bar. Okay. 600 by 100. Instead, I change my position of my health of my skeleton. Oh, it's set to 0 and 0. Okay, let me change that to 500 by 405. Now if I run the command, where's my skeleton? That should like literally be drawn here. I can like move around. I can jump. That should be my hero class. Okay. Trap hero, I'll change that to 0. Okay. Let me go to my jump logic. Y-axis is going to be equal to my jump strength. Y-axis velocity. This part's pretty much correct. Okay, I can go right, I can go to the left. But for my jump strength, I remember doing this mistake before. I know exactly where I messed up. Let's see. Self dot, this is going to be max. Max is going to be 0. Min is going to be my self dot current. I honestly remember messing up in this exact position. I increased my y-axis velocity by my gravity. My self dot y-axis velocity increases by my... Okay. If my bottom is greater than or equal to... Wait, why is my hero like kind of bugged there? He's gotta like most likely fall down. Okay, I can move. Let's think what's wrong with this now. When I blitz my hero... Okay, so... he should fall down if my self-direct at bottom is either above my floor or equal to my floor dot y-axis plus 20. That part's correct. Okay, projectiles logic looks pretty correct. Let me change that to 100 as well to just check the positionings. Okay, why doesn't anything draw my screen? Is it because of my screen.fill? Let me go to my main game loop. I filled my screen here, added my keys. Game objects. My move works correct. Okay, let me go ahead and go with my hero.apply gravity. Okay, there we go. I forgot to apply gravity, guys. My bad. There we go. Now my hero can move with apply gravity. Okay. Alright, perfect. Now, the only thing that I gotta figure out is where the actual this thing is my hero and my projectile. Hold up, guys. We'll get that. Get that. X-axis 100. Let's change the x-axis to be 300. Projectile is not being seen. Okay, I think I know why. I think I know why. My projectile needs a automate method, right? Okay, at least my skeleton should be seen. Okay, for my skeleton to be seen. Okay, what did I scale him to be? I scaled my skeleton to be size 3. Let me remove that. Now I'll be able to see my skeleton. There. What if I make my skeleton a little bigger, like 1.5? He goes to the shadow realm, guys. Let's change this to be 100. Okay, well, how does 105 make that big of a difference? Let me change this back to, where is it gone? 1. Oh, it's 0.1 that time. Okay, never mind. Let me change this to 0.5. Okay. Projectile is going to be 0.05. Okay, that's correct. My projectile is correct. Now I just got to fix the position of my projectile. Where's my projectile? 300 by 100. Instead, I'll go with first I gotta get my hero, my skeleton on the screen. I want to increase the size, so the x-axis could be something like 400. If I run the command, why can't I see my skeleton until I don't change this to, where's it gone? Until I don't change my size to 0.1. Okay, now I can see my skeleton, right? What if I change it to 0.2? Okay, what if I change it to 0.3? What if I change it to 0.4? There we go, he goes more to the left. I gotta get him more to the right. To go to the right, skeleton, I'll change that to 300. There we go. I'll change that to 200. There. Let me increase the size a bit more. 0.5. Okay, I'll increase the y-axis a little by 200, and then I'll change that to something like 50. Now if I run the command, okay, we have our skeleton there. Oh, that was my heels. My bad, guys, that was my heels positions. Okay, skeleton's right here. I changed that to 100. I changed that to 50. Now if I run the command, there we go. I want to get my skeleton a little higher, so I'll change that to something like 30. If I run the command, there we go. That should be pretty good. That should be pretty good. I want it to be a little bigger though. Okay, actually let me get him a little bigger because he'll look more scary, if that's the correct word to use here. Let me change that to 0.6. There we go. Now I get him a little up and I get him a little to the right. So under my skeleton class, I change that to 0. I change this to 0. Okay, let me get him a bit more to the right, so negative 50. Okay, let me get him a little higher, so like negative 50 as well. Maybe a little more to the right, negative 80. Okay, I want him to give me the boss vibes. Okay, and this is going to be negative 80 as well. There we go. Okay, that's actually a perfect player, although I see some space down here, so I'll go with negative 70. Okay, perfect. Maybe a little to the left, so negative 50 would be perfect. There, that looks good. Okay, and that's my player. Alright, next up, what else would I need? I might need to lubricate my lips real quick. Guys, my lips are kind of chapped. I mean, not chapped, kind of dry. That's it. Let me check if my stream's going good. Okay, YouTube stream's going good. Great, man. Keep it up. I appreciate you, Kiran. Okay, and guys, sometimes I like don't see the comments is because like I'm either looking at the screen. That said, let me just check if I'm audible. Okay, perfect. Alright, let's see. What else do I need? Okay, now for my projectile. Where the actual heavy is my projectile, guys? Okay. Did I go with my projectile.aim? Okay, let's go with a control. A control C sits right here. Okay, let me paste it at a bunch of spaces and say Sensei. I did the kind of layout, although dot. I don't I can't figure out why the aim logic isn't working, question mark. Let's see. Vivek, you built a whole layout like a mad lad, but you slipped in the execution. Let me tear this apart so you can see this where so you can see where the aim logic is joking. The problem inside your projectile class, define aim logic self. Ta-ta-ta. Looks fine at first glance, right? But there's the trick. Self.rect.x-axis and self.rect.y-axis are the top left corner of your projectile. Your hero spawns by its rect center, or at least visually looks like that. So the projectile isn't calculating the center of the hero. It's offset. Okay, so I should maybe go with minus. Okay, I knew it. Okay, but wait, another issue. Right now the projectile is always re-aiming every frame at the hero. That means doesn't travel like a shot. It's just magnetically following you. If you want true projectile bullets, calculate direction once. Okay, first let me try the old version. Okay, so basically the only thing that I like kind of messed up was, where did I even mess up actually? I feel like I got it correct. Okay, divided by 2. Okay, aim logic, direction axis hero, center x minus self.rect.x. Okay, self.rect.center x. Okay, and this is going to be center y. Honestly, I never heard of center y. This is the first time. Okay, self dot. This is going to be center x. Okay, and that's going to be center y. Did I spell center x correct? Let me copy that, paste it here. Okay, dot rect dot center x. And instead of y, I'll go with center, center y. Okay, if I run the command, okay, I don't see a projectile. Alright, and then distance is going to be direction x to the power of 2 plus direction y to the power of 2. If distance is not equal to 0, direction x divided equals to distance, direction y divided equals distance. Okay, self.rect.x-axis increases by direction x multiplied by self.x.y-axis. Self.rect.y-axis increases by direction y. Huh. Okay, let me go with the control. Control C gets Sensei back here again. Okay, paste it at a bunch of space Sensei. I feel like I messed up again, question mark. Okay, let's see. Vivek, you didn't just mess up, you spawned a projectile that doesn't even exist on the screen. Let me roast you into clarity. The mistake, you created a projectile but never drew. Oh my gosh. Alright guys, hold up. Didn't I draw the projectile on the screen? Please tell me I did not. Let me go with my projectile object, the draw function. Actually, draw method. There we go. Okay. Okay, if my projectile hits my player, take damage. Okay, honestly, I didn't have my projectiles take damage. I didn't use my take damage function here, but honestly, I like actually gotta go because like I gotta record my YouTube video before the sun sets. And also, let me actually go to my main camera for this. There we go. Alrighty guys, that was basically it for the stream. Now what I was saying before, I honestly gotta go like real soon because I do have an exam for my college that's not related to coding whatsoever, because many people ask me on Discord, they're like, do I take programming courses? I do not take programming courses. It's everything but programming. I can't wait to take programming courses. That aside, I do have an exam next week. I don't know if I studied at all for it. That aside, since my 100 series is over, I gotta record a video on that, add multiple shorts, edit those videos. That aside, so I will be ending the video here. And if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe. Like helps with my algorithm, sharing makes me smile, and subscribing is like and cherry on top. And guys, I did start multi-streaming on Twitch, TikTok, and YouTube. So if you guys haven't followed me there and you guys enjoy my content, make sure you guys follow me there. And if you guys are watching me from either Kick or Twitch, if you guys haven't subscribed to me on YouTube and you guys enjoy my content, make sure to subscribe to me on YouTube. We're really close to 1,000 subscribers. That said, I'll catch you guys on the next live stream or video. Peace.